Hello and welcome back to Shadow's Heretic Kingdoms. Now this was one that I wasn't expecting to pick back up, but I mean yeah, as you've probably seen from my previous video, if you haven't then it doesn't matter because I will be going through it from the beginning again. But yeah, I didn't really like it, to be honest, to be brutally honest. I mean, hopefully things are different here though, because they have recently updated it with a new character and some other changes, but for now I think
Evia, the daughter of
we'll show her off. It's, yeah, this one here, Evia,
She died on the relic,
the
amazed
mage
with
class.
incredible potential. Choose Evia, Heretic. They called him
Yeah, I think last time I chose this warrior guy, so that, I don't know, it could be why I was finding it kind of boring.
Some called him a barbarian.
Maybe he just is a boring class to play as.
Just go, wild.
Still not tried this guy though, the archer or the hunter,
He fell
I
in
guess.
battle, the hunter. Choose Jaska. If choose wisely, Dina.
So yeah, we're gonna go with Evia.
Am I dead? What is this place?
I have to say, you know, everything else though, the voice acting and just the general, you know, the graphic style, everything about it. I mean, the game's well made. It's just gameplay wise, I found it a bit too boring. Let's see if things are different though with this new character.
Ah, this cannot be! Mother, is this your revenge?
Can you hear me, daughter of
Yeah, the voice
fire?
acting is actually excellent.
I can.
Do
I
you
mean, especially
remember
as someone who's used to playing through, you know, user-created Fallout mods.
Lady
This
Mara,
is
Tarin, and the others.
definitely a
We were
big
raiding
change
my
for the
mother's
better.
vault in order to defeat her. I do not remember what happened.
Tarin betrayed you, but I never learned what transpired. This mystery is yours.
So did she get betrayed by her mother?
Don't speak as if I am not present.
I don't know, but
Patience,
yeah, I'll
demon.
go ahead and go through some of the other things that they've changed in this latest update. It's the update for the 4th of September 2014.
The Centaur.
So yeah, they've added a new crafting
Our
system,
fates are bound together, demon.
which, to be honest, I
We shall find a way
don't
to
even know if I'll
survive together.
actually get to this in this video, because I didn't manage to get that far last time, so I still haven't seen anything about the crafting.
Something far more dangerous than
What else? Looting. Apparently they've made looting a bit quicker now. A bit faster, as in, you know, doesn't take as long to loot stuff, presumably. I guess that was a little bit of a problem, if I recall correctly. I mean, I think the main thing is though, is there's too many of these pots. So let me just show you. So yeah, switch back to human form. Yeah, there's like a ridiculous amount of things to break, and most of them just contain, you know, 1 or 2 pieces of gold, so it's rarely ever useful to actually break all of them. Oh man, she's pretty squishy, as you'd expect from a mage. So we start off with this sort of what's it called, a fire breath? Yeah, what you'd expect, you know, a cone of fire in front of you. But yeah, so yeah, just you see here, there's already loads of these little pots. I mean, look at that. There's, if you're going through as a warrior, then you'll have to, you know, pretty much smash every single one of these, which just took ages. But I think they've actually changed it so that when you hit these pots, it sort of has like a little AoE. So when you smash one pot, then most likely you'll break the ones next to it. Yeah, you see that? I didn't have, you know, instead of having to click, you know, each of these 3 pots. Yeah, so that's nice. It's just a nice quality of life change. So yeah, that's the looting. I'll just get myself healed up. And second is they've changed the skills so that you're no longer required to use, you know, one particular weapon type for a particular, you know, skill tree. So I'll show you the skill tree. It's still quite small. Yeah, I'll talk about it later, but yeah, as you can see here, it used to be that this top row would be one weapon type, and this second row of skills could only be used with another weapon type, and so on and so forth. But now they've made it so that you can just sort of switch it around, so even if you're using this weapon type, you can use this skill if you want. So I guess that sort of makes the whole skill customization thing a bit better. The thing is, I'd still say that the skill tree is really small. I mean, I think that the devs have said in the forums that adding new skills is actually a lot more effort than it seems in this game for some reason. They just said that it was a lot harder to do, than your average ARPG. Whether you believe them or not is your choice. And what else? Yes, skills customization. Now, I can't believe they've actually only just added this in, but you can actually, change your skills here. So yeah, I have pretty much, I can choose from Fire Breath and Sand Wave. So let's have a look at Sand Wave. Wow, it's a much bigger AoE. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the skill effects and stuff are great. It's just there's not enough of them. That's simple as that. Okay, I'm gonna try and kite them around so I can hit them all with the Sand Wave. Yep. That's pretty cool actually. Which one should I actually use though? So Fire Breath deals, it deals like 50% more damage. And it also has a shorter cooldown, but you sacrifice AoE with it. I guess I'll go with Fire Breath. Yeah, I prefer more spammy skills. It just makes the, it just feels a lot better for some reason. I think we're going the wrong way actually. So yeah, and they've added alt toggle, so alt in this game and many other action RPGs, it pretty much displays a list of things that you can loot. Displays, no, not a list, but as you saw there, it gives you like an overlay and shows you, which things you can loot. So these two golden tooths and whatnot. So they made it so that you can actually toggle it instead of having to hold alt down. So yeah, another minor little change. And new armor set, model update, updates to boss fights. So yeah, I've gone through pretty much the main changes. So I guess we'll just have a little play about with this new character. So let's quick save.
These are the catacombs beneath Thol, yet they are in ruins.
No, does
I'm
not
still really worried about
I'm a princess
the
of the
lack of
Imperial
skills
family. I fear
in the
no
skill
human.
tree. It's just,
Thou shouldst fear.
maybe they will add more stuff. I mean, at least the devs haven't just completely given up on the game. Unlike the Stomping Land, which I think this was actually pretty new. This is actually pretty new, and a pretty new, sort of news story type thing. But yeah, apparently the Stomping Land has been removed completely. Well, not removed completely, but they've made it unavailable
It's
for purchase
unfortunate,
on
but
Steam.
The path has crumbled.
And the reason for that being,
This in shadow.
the devs have just not updated the game in I think 2 months or something. That's just insane. I mean, yes, it's early access, but to go that long without telling your customers anything is just unacceptable, obviously. It's nice to see that Steam has, sort of done something about it though. They've done pretty much the bare minimum. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people have been wanting refunds for that game actually. But obviously it's early access, and Steam, in their terms and conditions, say that they're not responsible for any, you know, dissatisfied customers for early access. I mean, that's the thing is, a lot of people still don't believe, you know, how risky it is to purchase something on early access. I mean, I know it's, I mean, I know that it's kind of hypocritical coming from me, you know, because I'm playing through Shadow's Heretic Kingdoms, which is another early access title. The thing is that even if this did turn out to be, you know, utter garbage, number one, I probably wouldn't have bought this game to, you know, begin with. Number two, though, I wouldn't be expecting a refund because I understand all the risks that are associated with buying something in early access. So let's change back to human form. I always prefer human form to, I think, the Devourer form. I think that's what it's called. Especially the melee one. I mean, I know it's meant to be, you know, all ghostly and stuff, but there's absolutely no impact to, you know, the auto attacks here. Look, it's completely silent. I guess that's because he's a ghost, but that's probably why I don't like it as much. Oh, yeah, those spiders actually have a bit of CC. You know, they can get you stuck on their spider webs. I mean, I do actually like the mechanic of using souls to to heal up. You know, I just like not having to use potions all the time. That's just another thing to micromanage. That just sort of takes up time, but yeah, we also need to use the other lever over here. Yep, that should be it. So you saw how those statues were spewing fire. Yeah, now we managed to turn them off. We can actually head through here safely. Oh, there must be more of them. I want to get more of them to spawn so I can just take them out in one skill. I don't know, I guess the mage is a bit better than the warrior in my opinion. At least, you know, you actually have to kite mobs. Whereas when you're the warrior, you're far too, you know, you're melee, so you can't kite someone when you're melee. It's just a lot more boring in my opinion. But yeah, this game just needs more skills. I'll be flat out honest and say that. It needs more skills. There's just not enough diversity in combat in the moment. So yeah, throughout the whole game you have 7 skills to use per character. Well, roughly about that, maybe 7 or 8, but that's not enough. That's not enough to keep you interested in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully that, you know, they do actually add more skills and stuff into the game. Otherwise it's, you know, combat's just gonna be as stale as it always was. I actually have boots. Do these actually look different on your character? I have to, yeah, they do. That's quite nice that they're actually aesthetic changes. Yeah, that's quite nice. I mean, that's actually kind of a base, you know, a minimum requirement for action RPGs in my opinion. I mean, the only game, well, the only recent action RPG I've stumbled upon which doesn't have, which doesn't have items that actually change your appearance is Marvel Heroes. So yeah, that pretty much completely turned me off the game. I mean, the game was fun and all, but picking up all this gear and having it look, make your character look exactly the same just isn't right for an ARPG. So where do we head now? Have I missed anything? Yeah, so I guess we'll just keep heading towards the exclamation mark. Yeah, I do prefer the mage a lot more because, her skills are also a lot more spammy. They only have like a 3-second cooldown, whereas with the warrior it was more like double that. So you're pretty much just mashing left click pretty much most of the time. So we leveled up again. Hopefully we can get a new skill. I don't know if we can actually. Let's have a look at our skills. Nope, it's level 6 for our next active skills. Increases amount of experience by 3. Kind of a waste of a skill point in my opinion. Well, when you say by 3, I don't know how much that is. I mean, early on that could be a lot, but later on maybe not so much, so I guess for now we can sort of choose out of fire and wind, I think. Yeah, that's the only 2 elements that are available. So like, hopefully later on we can actually add some more elements, in this case for the mage. Then maybe we can get some new skills and stuff to play around with. But adds fire damage to every non-skill attack, so that's basic attacks I guess. Fire shield, sand vortex. Yeah, I kind of prefer the fire tree actually. We'll go for this. And this is just a little damage buff. Adds 5% to evasion. Guess I'll take that passive as well, just to sort of unlock the next skill in the tree. I mean, even if this game does, actually finally hook me in, I probably won't be doing a let's play of it, to be honest, because it is, after all, still an ARPG, which is probably one of the worst genres of game to do a let's play on. They're just a bit, they're a bit too grindy for let's plays. Just open all of this stuff. Oh wow, these spiderlings just keep coming. So yeah, I guess we'll head to the next area, if they'll let me. Okay. Oh, you have to go in your, the demon
This
form,
must be
yeah.
the cenotaph the hooded man spoke of. Its power reaches shadow. There is much I like to. Any cenotaph will allow us to gateway to my realm. This cenotaph is erected upon the graves
So I
of
guess we're
many. It shall
going
be
to a new
easy to
location.
lead back to this place, and I sense
I still don't know much about the story.
the hooded man's work.
I mean, yeah, I
It
think
must be the
yeah,
way
there is
out,
a
he mentioned.
previous game in this series. Okay, where do I go? Probably here. Yeah, there is a previous game in the series. I think it's called Cult. Something something. I'd forgotten the sort of subtitle for that. Whoops.
Thou knows this place?
It's the regional garrison at Thule, or it was. It lies in ruins.
But no, I really like the voice acting, like I
No.
said.
These stones fell centuries ago.
Thou hast been dead a long time.
What has become of my
I
mother's
mean, there is a
empire?
lot of potential between, you know, the sort of
Has the
form
Thulian
switching
god empress fallen?
aspect of gameplay, you know, switching between Devourer and human form. I mean, yeah, there's, you know, I could see there being like some pretty good puzzles with this sort of thing. Venom sac. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of ingredients. I don't think I'm far enough into the game where I can actually sort of try out the crafting, which is a shame. I've never really liked crafting, to be honest, in action RPGs. I usually like just looting all my gear. Hickory wood. Yeah, a lot of crafting materials already. But no, if you're wondering what the stomping, I think the stomping land, that's what it's called. Yeah, if you're wondering what that is, I think it was like a survival.
Perched atop an
Cutscene.
ancient stone plateau,
I'll
amidst
just
the
be quiet
sands
for a
of the
second.
outlands, lies the city of Thole. Centuries Guild of Steel like to call themselves mercenaries, protecting the few caravans that ply their trade across the desert. Yet those that do not pay for their protection find the guild equally adept at brigandage. The Guild of Silk call themselves merchants, and do indeed sell all manner of goods and trinkets, though it is best not to ask them from whence they came. A vast stone gate is all that remains of the barbican that once defended these walls. Now it guards the city of Thole once more from the horde of nomads that besiege it. For 3 years, I have been hiding here amid the detritus of the Heretic kingdoms. But it is only a matter of time before my former allies locate me. And I am running out of places to hide.
So, that's
I
us.
demand an immediate audience with the Imperator of Thule.
Imperator? No one has held that title for 300 years.
Then you are in charge of Thule?
I am Duke Darmok Cadasta.
On whose authority do you rule?
I am a vassal of Baron Tar.
I don't know if I should be skipping through all this dialogue because,
I am
quite
visiting
frankly,
Thule
I'm
on
quite
medium
clueless
business
anyways.
present matter. So,
If this is
when it
about
comes to the
vengeance,
story.
I ask you.
Yeah, I'm not really good at multitasking, you know, when I start rambling on about stuff, I just sort of lose, I just sort of can't pay attention to
Thule is
what's
under
actually going
siege.
on.
Indeed.
I've always wondered how Let's Players actually manage this. You know, how they managed to keep talking while
Those defenses
actually
have
paying
protected it
attention to
from
what's
assault for
happening to the
centuries.
story.
Aye, and the city
I guess it
shall
all
not
comes with
fall
practice.
upon the highway. Welcome to Thor Albotas.
300 years.
So we're in a new location called Thal. Well, it isn't really that new if you've seen my previous video. So yeah, I think we got like roughly here and then sort of ended the video there. Press J to access the journal. Looks like we have. Yeah, I guess we're just doing this quest first. Do you know what? I think I might have realised what makes the combat so boring in this game. I think, you know, I think this is to do with the skills themselves. I mean, thinking back to Marvel Heroes, there isn't actually that many skills in that game as well. Well, there are, but you know, there's like double the amount you get here. But the thing is, the reason why I've like stuck to the same number of skills in that game and still managed to, you know, enjoy it a lot is because the skills themselves are a lot more fun, I guess. I think one of the reasons is you don't get any sort of movement skills so far from what I've seen. You know, when you're a squishy mage, you want to be able to, you know, just sort of dash around all over the place. I think that's one of the reasons why combat is boring, is there's a lack of sort of movement related skills. You don't have a dash, you don't have like any ways to, you know, dodge around enemies. It's just sort of running around, you know, frantically. It's just sort of running here, click on him, run here, click on him. Yeah, I guess that's why. Maybe they just need better skill variety as well as, you know, better skill quantity, I guess.
This looks like the Arcanum.
This is actually quite cool. I think, yeah, I think when you play as a new character, you start in a different area as well. So, you know, each and every single character sort of feels very unique. Yeah, this is quite cool. I mean, this character has a different hometown from, I don't know if this is her home, but a different sort of quest hub, I guess, than the warrior guy I played last time. So that's quite cool they've managed to do that. Where do I get the key though? Find another person who knows about the Empire.
You have the look of one who is no... I have all the tinctures and tonics you
Well,
can
that's a
need.
shop.
No one undersells me on potions, I assure you.
So lots of things to choose from. Oh, I think the video's starting to lag a little bit.
Until we meet again.
Oh, the frame rate actually sort of drops in the shop inventory screen. That's weird. Maybe we just head up here. Acquire an Arcanum key.
I hear that Rabat
Who's this
pays
guy?
a high price for
Are you the Silk Master?
I am the head of the Guild of
Guild of Silk.
When were the merchants allowed to form guilds?
Lady, who in the city is going to stop us?
Forgive me. Soul is not as I remember it.
Really? It's the same old... My name is Arashad.
Call me Evia.
You have questions?
Right, where can I get an Arcanum key?
Where can
Yeah,
I get a
we
key
should
to the
probably
Arcanum?
do that.
Might be
Whoops.
surprised that the Guild of Steel have one either. There is a hooded mage who enters there sometimes.
Is that the hooded
I know of no
man
one
who
else
was at the
works there.
start of the game?
Please, ask your questions.
So then, I also like how there's a sort of text log, I guess. It's sort of a combat log and a quest log, which sort of shows you all the dialogue and everything as well. There is a hooded mage. I don't know.
Might I render you aid?
Milady, it would be my honor.
Lads, we
to have
actually
your
take on some
assistance in a
side
number
quests
of
at the moment.
problematic situations. I've lost a few merchants to aphotic spider attacks at night. There's also a
So I guess just more of those spiders, I mean.
one involving, shall we say,
I don't know if I want to do
a
that.
reappropriation of
It's
assets.
just more of the same.
I am at your disposal.
I guess I'll take care of those
I can
spiders.
take care of the
I would be most grateful. Bring me the carcasses of 10 spiders searching
Burial
southward-
grounds southwest of the
southwest
market.
They seem to be infesting there in great numbers. I am at your disposal.
What can you tell me about
Very little. You overthrew my father as intended. I had no love for my father. I do not trust the Duke.
So yeah, setting wise it's really cool. I mean, like I said, the art style and the graphics in general are really well done.
Better off without him.
how fares the Guild of Sip?
Alas, the city, terrible thing. On the other hand, nothing like a. What do you need?
I guess yeah, we'll head and I think we'll head over to the cellar and take care of those spiders. Yeah, it sounds like a typical, you know, first side mission. You know, it's probably this game's equivalent of, you know, kill 10 rats, essentially. Was it southeast or southwest? I've forgotten. Let's see what this place leads to. Okay, nowhere, apparently. Let's bring up the journal. Yeah, I guess we can just follow the exclamation mark. Where is it on the map? Well, we're meant to head this way, I guess. So, where are we at the moment? We're in Thol. Looks like there's 4 other locations in the game. But no, it's nice to see the developers actually, you know, communicating with the players. Yeah, they do typically respond to quite a few of the comments in the Steam forums if you're wondering. I mean, I still can't believe the Stomping Land though. I mean, 2 months without even a word from the developers. I mean, that's just horrible. I would be pissed. I mean, I think that what the developers gave as an excuse for their lack of communication was the fact that they were working on switching the game engine from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4 or something like that, but that's not an excuse. I mean, that should be all the more reason why you should be communicating with your customers. We should probably quick save. We're in combat though, so it won't let us. Guess that makes sense. So yeah, if you hadn't realised, you can actually choose a class for the Devourer as well. So he's in pretty much an entirely new character. He's like a second character almost. Oh no, messed that up. I just really don't like using the ghost, especially the melee version of it. And maybe the mage type version of the Devourer is a lot better. And I'm also seem to be missing a lot of these auto attacks for me. Look, it's so sluggish. Look, I click on this Phantom Spirit guy, I just get kited all the time. Look, I'm pretty much attacking thin air when they start moving away. It's really infuriating playing as, you know, a melee class. Yeah, that's that. Actually, let's see what new skills we have for the Devourer. So yeah, now you can actually use you can actually swap classes sort of mid, whenever you want pretty much. I can use this skill if I want to for the Devourer. He's actually kind of falling behind my mage, which is understandable because I haven't been using my mage at all. I mean, I haven't been using my ghost at all, really. It's just to get through these, broken bridges and inaccessible areas. They were only meant to kill like 10 of these spiderlings, I think. I don't know, I have a feeling I should be varying it up a lot more. Switching to my ghost. But I just prefer using this character, to be honest. That probably will do a lot of bad in the long term though. There's probably going to be fights where I can only, use my ghost. Yeah, this fire breath seems to be doing some pretty good work. Gear wise, I've just been pretty much auto equipping pretty much everything I've picked up. And also, more in gaming news. Actually, this probably isn't even news anymore. It is sort of news at the time of recording, but it's probably old stuff now. But Twitch has been acquired by Amazon. Contrary to popular belief, everyone thought that it was in fact Google who were buying them. But, it's Amazon. I guess I guess it's better than having Google, than having themselves sell to Google. Now at least there's some, sort of some competition between Google and Twitch. I mean, YouTube and Twitch. I mean, apart from that, I really don't know what to say. So yeah, as long as Google doesn't acquire Twitch, I guess I'm happy. I mean, hopefully, them selling themselves out to Amazon would mean that, a better service. Maybe Twitch won't have as many sort of connection problems, and yeah, I usually just hate using Twitch. I don't know if it's my connection or if it's their service, but streams just get really laggy sometimes, particularly when there's some major event on, like some MOBA tournament. It's just impossible to keep a stream up in with my connection anyways. Oh. So my game actually crashed there, so that's not good. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's the first time that's actually happened to me so far, so take that for what you will. It could be because I'm recording at the same time, maybe that sort of gives me an increased chance of having the game crash. But no, yeah, in terms of, actual first impressions of this game, I don't really have much more to say. So yeah, to sum up, the graphics really good. I really like the art style. That's pretty much what enticed me to get this, to give this game a go in the first place. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of potential between the sort of character switching aspect, so maybe some puzzles as well. Gameplay though, that is... No, actually before we talk about the gameplay, loot, surprisingly quite disappointing. For an action RPG I was expecting to get a lot more gear than this. I mean, yeah, all I've been getting is just crafting components, which may mean that perhaps crafting is, you know, the main way to get gear in this game. Hopefully not though, I do prefer just looting everything, but yeah, so I think in the roughly 45 minutes I've played so far, I've managed to get 1, 2, 3... No, actually, I shouldn't count that because you start off with a weapon, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like you have 4 bits of gear that you can actually use. So quite disappointing. I mean, maybe they should increase the drop rates for actual equipment a bit more. Yeah, that's quite annoying actually. But yeah, then we get on to combat, and that's pretty much the game's biggest problem at the moment. The combat, it's... I think this the lack of skills and the skills themselves are the main problem. I mean, they need to diversify their skills. I mean, fine, give us all these, you know, give us fire breath, give us the standard, damaging spells and whatnot. Especially when you play as a warrior, combat is so monotonous. It's because I think it's the lack of movement with these skills. Everything's just static. You're just standing there using skills. You know, skills don't sort of teleport you around, and they, there's no dashing, from what I've seen so far, as well. Maybe you might get a couple of cool skills here and there later on, but for a first impressions, there isn't any of that yet. So yeah, I have to warn you, this game really does start off very slow. Very, very slow. So yeah, more skills and a bigger variety of skills would be probably what I'd be hoping for. But developer support does seem to be pretty good at the moment. So yeah, I don't think the devs are just going to take the money and run anytime soon. So yeah. For now though, if you have a really good internet connection, I'd still recommend Path of Exile over this. Over pretty much anything at the moment. But because my internet's not that good, I can't enjoy that as much as I'd like. And that's pretty much why I've stopped playing that, to be honest. But no, maybe later on down the line, if this gets updated even more, maybe they do add in all, a lot more new skills and make combat more enjoyable. Maybe then it might be a good time to try this game out. But yeah, so I guess that's another first impressions. I don't even know if I can call it first impressions anymore, because I've already done a video, but I guess a sort of first impressions of a new patch / update that they've done. So I hope this is informative, and I hope this further helps you decide whether to pick this game up or not. So yeah, until next time, bye.